Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another edition of Keg Tap Reviews. Today, drinking St. Arnold's Endeavour IPA. This is an 8.9, perhaps 9% ABV Imperial or Double IPA, brewed out of Houston, Texas, my home state. I was happy to get this when I went home a few months ago for a wedding for a family friend. This is one of the bottles I made sure I wanted to grab because I heard it's a pretty good brew. Now I'm going to find out. Let's take a look at this. You can see the beautiful adorn. You got the saint right there with the plant. Looks pretty good. It's interesting. And from what I read here is that it's awfully hoppy. Simcoe, Centennial, and Columbus hops all used to brew this thing. I'm ready to pop it open. Let's give it a shot. The pour delivered a solid amber hue with almost a finger's worth of off-white head and decent retention. After the pour, what you see is a very nice amber color in the beer. Poured about a half a finger's worth of head, not much more than that. And it's settled so far. We got a nice little film above the brew. There's some carbonation coming up from the middle of the glass. So it's keeping that head around a little bit. I'm guessing this is pretty well carbonated. Let's give it a smell. Double IPA or an Imperial IPA, I was expecting much more of a hoppy aroma. This is quite bready. So you're definitely getting a lot of malt presence in the nose. Not so much with the hops. There's not a whole lot of that piney presence. Again, pretty much all malt. But what you smell is not always what you taste. So we're going to find that out right now. Cheers. Wow, it's pretty tasty. It's not overwhelming. You get plenty of the malty sweetness, which you would come to expect from a beer that high in alcohol. So the malty sweetness is there, but it also has a subtle touch of hops. It's not overbearing. It's not really bitter. It's smooth. It's delicate, to be honest with you. I like this. You can see there's a whole lot of lacing left in the glass after that first pull. Again, the hops really disguise themselves well with this. The aroma is almost pure malt. I really can't get any kind of pine or grapefruit or any kind of citrus aroma out of this. It's really a malty, sweet aroma. Let's give it another sip. Wow, it's fantastic. I mentioned the grapefruit, the citrus. You don't get that in the aroma, but you do get it in the taste. Those three hop varieties add themselves well to this. This is nicely balanced. I really like this. It's a pretty good brew. While it's not the best double IPA I've had, I think I have to say Heady Topper was, that sets the bar very, very high. This is pretty damn good. This stands up for itself. I think it could hold its own against just about any other beer in this category. I'm going to have another sip. I can already feel the warming. It's got some heat to it. 9% or almost just under 9%. You should expect that. I mentioned before that I got this when I was in Texas for a wedding. This is brewed down in Houston. And unlike most of the beers that come out of Texas, I think the biggest one that's come out, especially up here, has been Shiner Bock. Shiner I drank a lot in college. It was great because it was a really good alternative to, say, Natural Light, Keystone, all that other, piss water crap that you know, all the other college fraternity parties would be hosting, we had Shiner because it was like a darker alternative, and it was good. But most of the beer that comes out of Texas, with the exception of this, yeah, and the Roar variety, that brewery, this one, I think those are two exceptions to the rule, because most of the stuff that's come out of Texas has been kind of, so-so. This is good beer. I really like this. If I were to give this a verdict, what would I rate this? It's pretty fantastic. I would have to say the balance of the malt and the hops, it's not overly bitter. I really like that, because some IPAs are just, you know, they make you give you one of those faces. And this doesn't do that. This is actually a really tasty brew, and you get a lot of the malt sweetness in it in conjunction with the hops. So I would have to go with maybe an A-. I mean, and the only reason I'm going that low, you know, is because I don't think it's quite at the level of Heady Topper, although it's close. This does give me some heat. I can feel it right now in my chest already. Well, I've had half a glass, but it's there. Excuse me. So, for all you kids down in the Lone Star State, you want a nice variety, a good alternative to your typical, to your typical macro beer, St. Arnold's Endeavour IPA, get some. Cheers.